Hi everyone, I hope you guys are having a pretty great week so far. To catch up, not really much has changed, to be honest. I've just been trying to kind of get some things together before some of the things change in our lives, so I've been trying to do that. And then I've also been trying to catch up on some shows that I've been missing. I've been watching a lot of like Paternity Court. I don't know why, but I've been into that a lot, so I've been doing that and just trying to spend a little bit of time with my kids as well. This weekend, thankfully, I'll be able to finally get out for a little bit. Me and my husband will go for a little getaway, so that'll be nice to get out for the weekend. But other than that, nothing much has changed. It's been pretty nice, I would say. To jump right into this week's composer report, I did decide to choose Nico Muhly, I believe that's how you say it. That's how I would say it. I'm just gonna go with that. He was born in Randolph, Vermont on August 26th in 1981. I thought it was pretty interesting how he actually wasn't born too long ago. Well, I would say not too long ago from like when I was born, because I was born in like 2001. He was born in 1981, so I thought that was pretty cool. He's not much older, I would say. Well, kind of not much older. He actually was raised, even though he was born in Vermont, he was raised in Rhode Island. And during this time, he did learn to play the piano, and he also sang with the Epsicolian boys choir. And then when he went to high school, he did end up studying composition with David Rakowski. And he also went to Columbia University after high school, and he went to Juilliard as well. And he got his Bachelor's of Arts in 2003 and also his Master's in 2004. He did decide to end up staying in New York, and he did end up working for Philip Glass, and he was a keyboard player for him. When composing, he kind of had an interest in bringing stuff that was old and new together. So I thought that was really cool that he kind of like tried to incorporate them both together instead of just like focusing on one or leaving out the other. He just brought them both together to just make it work. So that was really interesting. As he was composing, a good amount of his pieces and works and stuff like that did focus on a lot of choral music, and it was a bit like minimalist as well, so that's like kind of familiar to the things that we have learned before. And he also has been enjoying Anglican choral music as well, so that's pretty cool. During his 20s, I thought it was interesting that he did decide to go in a different direction. He didn't strictly stay with the type of music that he was in. He did begin to start writing music for different stage acts and films and dance, so he got out of his comfort zone and really tried something new. And one of his first operas that was pretty big was called Two Boys, and this premiered at the ENO in June of 2011, which was not too long ago. I'm surprised, well, not surprised, but I never heard about this, which I'm sure many of you never heard about this, but that's pretty cool that it wasn't too long ago that this actually premiered. But to jump into the song that I decided to choose, I did decide to choose It Goes Without Saying. And right off the back, the title like really like caught my eye because it sounded like there was a bit of a backstory behind it. So it like intrigued me in a way. So I really wanted to hear what the piece was all about. And throughout the piece, there were different instruments that were being played, and they really brought the best out of each other, if that makes sense. Like, they helped each other sound better than they would alone, I guess you could say. So that was like really, really cool. They connected so well throughout the entire song. In the beginning, it started very mellow, and there were woodwind instruments being played that kind of took control of the song. So there were other instruments, but the woodwind instrument really took everything over and just kind of went for it. So that was really, really cool to hear. The piece was played in a minor scale. It was very low, as I said, and just kind of peaceful. There were different moments where it would pick up, but for the most part, It was very slow, peaceful. Deeper into the song, there was a sound where like it sounded like there were beads being dropped. So that was kind of different. Still interesting, but very different. But it still did bring out the best in the song. So it kind of just connected everything together as before. The tempo was on the rise. It would drop, it would rise. So it was constantly like the different sounds that were made would bring it up, but it would also still be like on that same mellow scale. Also there was like an electronic, kind of towards the end, there was an electronic sound that started coming up. Kind of sounded like robotic, or at least to me it sounded robotic. And it kind of brought the song up a notch and added more to it, so that was interesting as well. Most of the song had a lot of contrast. Nothing was ever truly the same. Each section was different from the last, so that was always happening in this piece. And each section, even though it was different, it still kind of connected to the other in a way, but still new sounds were being brought out. But overall, this piece truly spoke to me. I think it's such a great piece. It really made me feel like something deeper than what was probably like on the surface. So I really appreciated like hearing this piece. It was so different from what like I've heard before. I truly can't compare it to stuff that we've heard in this class before, because it just felt so different. I don't know, it gave me a different feeling than what I expected to feel. But other than that, truly enjoyed doing these composer reports. Kind of sad that this is the last one. But I'm glad that I got to learn about all these new composers, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.